Hi everyone.
Hi.
Spicy food, right? Basically, my name is Karam, aka Kabak, because of the way our usernames kind of work here at AO, which is kind of cool because my surname is Kabbara. My first name starts with a K, so it becomes like a palindrome. And apparently I found out the other day that my name in ancient Greek apparently means cabbage. So that's a fun fact for you. And I joined AO 3 years ago, straight out of university. And I'm a software developer in our very own team block party, where I look after a lot of the commercial domain. That's like pricing, competitor matching and stuff. We'd tell you more, but we'd probably have to kill you. So, not really. So yeah, circle of life. What does this mean to you? I think this really is the first thought that kind of pops into most people's heads. But I kind of imagine it a little bit more like this. I like cats. This is my auntie's cat called Cookie. And what I'm really hoping at this point is that my tactic of trying to soften up the audience is kind of working. But really what I'm talking about is something a little bit more like this in terms of the circle of the software developer's life. And obviously, when it comes to the circle of life, there's quite a lot of subjective interpretations. Chris DeLacy is an author, and his kind of take on the meaning of the circle of life is what you take from the earth, you must give back. That's nature's way. And I think when you apply that to software development, it looks a little bit more like this. What you take from Google and Stack Overflow, you should give back. That's the software developer way. And, you know, I talk about circle software development, and just to clarify, I'm not on about this bad boy. We'll bin that one for now. I'm on about this circle of software development, the one that we take for granted day in, day out. And the awesome thing is about resources like Stack Overflow, blogs, and so on, is the only reason they exist is because someone else out there is voluntarily willing to share that knowledge with us. And the thing is, a lot of us take so much more than what we actually give back. So the question is, why are so many of us willing to take, but not actually willing to give back ourselves? If not to the wider community, then at least to our very own. Why don't we pay it forward more? So this is you. And if you paid a piece of knowledge forward to just 3 people, and they then continued to pay it forwards, apologies about the maths. Let's say, in this scenario, where our department has 100 developers, it actually only takes 5 levels of this chart to pay that piece of knowledge forward to absolutely everyone, which really, if you think about it, is quite a simple concept and won't actually take that long. So the question stands, why don't we do this more often? And you might not even realize it, but most of you guys, especially the technical ones, the devs, have probably been helping others around the world, people you've never even met, in your sleep. Here's a Stack Overflow question I posted once upon a time during my university days and Java days quite a while ago. As you can see, it's been viewed over 4,600 times. So if just 10% of the people that have actually seen my Stack Overflow question have benefited from it, just by me asking this question, I've helped other developers around the world. And that's how powerful knowledge sharing can be. So, yeah. Here are some other squad members of the circle of software development, and the truth is most of us can't live without most of these resources. They only really exist because other people around the world are willing to share knowledge with you. And just a warning, Venn diagrams are coming up. The developers in the room are probably cringing right now. I still have nightmares about these, but we're not going to be looking at these. We're going to be looking at this Venn diagram. And as devs, we always want to try and learn more. And then we want to apply that knowledge because we want to improve our domains. We want to improve our software. And better domains means happier customers. But the question is, what is the best way to acquire that new knowledge that will allow us to improve our domains? And this is kind of what it looks like for the meme fans in the room. And sometimes the knowledge you're looking for is actually closer than you think. Hint, it's in the red. And a quote I like that kind of describes software development quite well is this. by Dr. Askari Johnson Hodari. Fingers crossed that is how you pronounce it. Because unlike Johnny, I didn't look up pronunciations of people's names. If everyone helps to hold up the sky, then one person does not become tired. And most of you in the room can probably see where I'm going with this. Over time, knowledge sharing has a domino effect because those who learn from those who are already knowledgeable continue to pay it forward. And really, this is kind of a silly made-up formula, but you can see where I'm going with this. You might be wondering, why can't people just teach themselves? Well, they can. But it's actually quicker to solve problems and decrease our time to learn if we utilize those people with knowledge around us and filter out something as simple as poor learning material. That way we can learn quicker, we can evolve quicker, we can acquire knowledge quicker and impact our customers quicker. And the truth is, for the technical people in the room, there's not really such a thing as a software developer. I'm a software developer, so don't feel offended. We're just all cogs in what is a big software development delivery machine. And it's not just software developers. You know, as a software developer, I can't do my job without a QA to my right-hand side. I can't do my job without my BA, front-end developer, We're all cogs in one big machine. And the better oiled all these different cogs are, the quicker and more efficient the machine will run. And as a cog, you should want your fellow cogs to obviously be more synchronized and to perform better. So look in the mirror and honestly ask yourself, is there more you can be doing? Is there more I can be doing to share my knowledge and help improve the other cogs in the machine? Go home tonight and seriously think about that question. So conclusively, all I'm really saying is just please try and share your knowledge more often. We're all in this mad world of tech together, where every other day there's a new JavaScript framework and all the other fireworks that happen. We're all in this together. And to be fair, we do this really well at AO. And just to clarify, there isn't a dodgy webcam. This is where you guys are sat. And we host regular show and tells, which is pretty awesome. But presenting isn't always everyone's cup of tea. This is great, Karam. Just one problem. I'm scared of presenting. I might make a mistake. I'm worried that no one's going to read my dev blog. I'm not John Skeet. Who cares what I think? I mean, I might be John Skeet. No, I'm not. I wish I was. And who recognises this? One person. Get in. It isn't, no, but hey, Maiden Master Race, right? So, yes, this is the album cover of one of my favourite Iron Maiden albums, and one of the songs is titled The Greater Good of God. So, you know, just go the extra mile for the greater good of tech. And as part of my New Year's resolution, I decided to start blogging more, use it as motivation, try and learn new things. So I basically broke it down to 3 steps where I'd pick something I want to learn within a month and then learn by building something with that piece of tech and then use it as an excuse to blog on it and share the knowledge. And that was when I had my eureka moment. If you don't want to present, you know, in front of an audience or write a blog, just share things. Like, it seems really obvious, but share things. If we look at the different kind of, or the substitutes within this squad of the members of the software development circle, we quickly realize that, you know, things like sharing a podcast or sharing someone else's blog, something you found useful, doesn't actually require you to go out of your comfort zone. And because of this, I had this weird idea to basically develop something that I kind of call AO Knowledge Share at the moment, that's not really live, but will be eventually. And really, the idea behind it is just kind of like an internal platform for knowledge sharing in what I like to call non-excusable forms. So the sharing of articles that other people have written, the sharing of videos that other people have posted, different squad members, as we saw as part of the England squad. And, you know, there's more kind of information on this in the GitHub repository and stuff, that there'll be a link at the end. And in terms of the features and stuff, again, you can find all this on kind of the GitHub repository. But the point is, just spread more knowledge. And as a famous supermarket once said, every little helps. You go home at the weekend, you find a cool blog, share it with your team on WhatsApp. Most of them probably won't read it, But you know what? If you pay it forward, if an article you share benefits just one person, then that's one more person you've influenced than if you hadn't shared it. And still pay it forward even though, you haven't had to write or present anything. Seems really obvious, but it is, and people just don't do it. Or some people try and do it, and then they get looked at as if they're weird. So, too long, didn't listen. Read stuff, watch stuff, learn stuff, write stuff, share stuff, pay it forward, because what goes around comes around. And most importantly, the knowledge will eventually increase the blast radius of the impact to your customers in a positive way, of course, because you're making your software better as a result. Please, just do it. Thank you.